Hi guys. Okay, so I really want to talk about why an ex who gaslit you, or a partner from a bad relationship, or a parent or a sibling or a friend or a cousin or just anyone, why do they need to keep trashing you even though you're not talking to them? Why do they need to maintain this image about you, right? Okay, let's talk about it. So usually if you're the one being shit on and someone cannot let it go, it's because you did for them what they would never do for anyone else. You were their scapegoat. You were shit on a lot and nobody knows about it. You might have been spiteful at first because you had to adapt to the way they were behaving. You had to retaliate. You had to defend yourself. You also lived in a state of defending yourself in situations you didn't have to. This is a form of reactive abuse. After taking so much, you just become defensive. You become protective, and you actually do now, because the gaslighter did this for so long and talked about you for so long, you suit what they're saying. And you know, if you catch yourself saying, am I really like this? Like, what is wrong with me? Do I need help? Do I need to go to the doctor? If you are openly taking the blame and like continuously taking the projection they're putting on you, you need to stop. You're giving your power away. Even if you did something, you were still in survivor mode. Take accountability, of course, and that's probably what you're already doing, but you don't need to take on everything these people say about you, especially if they're taking situations where you were in a bad state of mind, making the worst choices. When someone beats you down so much, especially if this is like an abusive relationship or just very manipulative, these people want you to stay in that image, because the second you defend yourself, just like when you were in that connection, it hurts them, it affects them. They can't handle it. They're not like you. You cannot handle hurting other people. So hearing this, it's like, okay, I need to fix myself. How come they don't need to fix the way they see you or talk to you or talk about you or post about you on social media? How come it gives them such power to go tell people what a fucking loser you are? Let's be real with ourselves. Why do you need to stay at this level? And why are you the only one who has to heal? But they're still out drinking. They're all still slapping their boyfriends around, their girlfriends. They're out still like stealing from people, energy, everything, you know? And they still have a bad history of relationships and connections. They're still losing friends left and right because of their behavior. But it's just typical drama in their life, and it's not that big of a deal because for them this is normal. You know, abusers aren't kind to, aren't mean to everyone. They're really manipulative and nice to people who probably are like them. You know, that's why they get along so well. They like when someone has a manipulative mindset. They like when they can say something and twist it and this person agrees with them because they have the same mindset. I'm not saying these people are like evil or any of that, even though they embody this energy. They grew up like this. It's been a cycle. And it could be like generations of this. When I did my my story about abuse, I had one person saying, why don't you talk about residential abuse cycles or whatever. You know, I wasn't directly affected by that. That's not really a situation that I need to discuss because I don't know much about it. I'm learning about it and I would love to talk about it. But if you're living in reactive abuse, if you're living with a situation where you're constantly battling, am I good or am I bad? It's most likely you're embodying personality traits from an abuser, from a gaslighter. And you need to take yourself out of survivor mode where you're manipulating and possibly just don't see situations for what they are because you had someone not letting you see situations for what they are for a very long time. It's hard to break out of this, and as I said, it's reactive abuse. You're so used to making scenarios up to protect yourself because you had to listen to that for many years, many months, even weeks. It could affect you, okay? You had to listen to that for quite a while with a mother, a father, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a cousin who just took advantage of you. And oh, you know, something that is common with when you leave these situations, you'll hear people say, you chose to stay in that situation. The reality of it is, yeah, because you didn't know you deserved better. You had no idea. Once you can admit that, like, yeah, actually, I had no idea it was even happening. I didn't know I could leave. I didn't know I could do better. I had no idea. It's okay to say that. It's okay to admit that you were in this situation due to feeling hopeless and like you couldn't leave it. You couldn't do better. No one gave a fuck, because that's what these people do. They talk to you like they're angels. When they go in public, you see them helping people. You see them like buying someone coffee. You see them spoiling other people's kids. But when they go home and you see them behind the scenes, they're calling their boyfriend a fucking drunk and loser because they want to go to the bar without them. And then they're getting mad and they're texting and they're flipping out and they're talking about breaking up with him. And then the boyfriend, he just completely neglects his girlfriend. No, I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing that with you. Go do it. These are situations that are real. And these kind of people, when they're put behind closed doors, they show their true colors. This is what creates reactive abuse. This is a huge problem in the world right now. And as soon as the supply, I'm just going to say supply because we like literally are, our inability to stand up for ourselves and speak up for ourselves, it's a supply. It's some fuel for the person that is loving this. This person never really stops, especially if it was a bad relationship or it's a parent or someone deeply connected to you. It never stops. They love to taint your image. For me, in my case, my ex continuously gossiping about me, continuously spreading rumors about me. He has cousins who took pictures of me at my most vulnerable and painful times in my life after that relationship. You know, this alters our DNA. People lose their minds and they start calling people their targets crazy. When I deal with women who are super protective and can't see straight and they manipulate situations and seem really toxic, I don't instantly go to, you're toxic, you fucking loser, everyone's right about you. I go to, what happened? What happened to you? You used to be nice. What's going on? I will plant the seed, like, you never used to be like this. Someone really hurt you and you need someone to care about you. This isn't you. And I'll go away. I'll tell them, like, you're a jealous spirit because someone made you jealous. You're an angry, manipulative spirit because you had to do that. You had to listen to that for many years. Our DNA changes with abuse, even if it's just words. Words and actions, if they say they're doing something in public and back at home they don't, but then they created this story later on that they did because you did it. You're conditioned to do all the work and never get credit. That's what happens in these situations. This is reactive abuse. Now you probably get really defensive when you see someone who is harmless and doing the same thing. Like, you guys did the work together, but you feel like you did a little more and you build a secret resentment inside for your friend and you're like, you copied my idea. You used me. That's reactive abuse. It's hard to recognize this cycle. I don't know why I'm so drawn to talk about this, but I've lived in this cycle for many years and it ruined a lot, like, good relationships for me, actually. I had a really good boyfriend and I lived in reactive abuse. It got so bad to the point where I just straight up believed he was a liar because he was calm, chill, and he believed me. When you have someone calling you a loser, a cheater, looking at your phone all the time, attacking you, talking about you, you're used to that. That excitement doesn't exist with someone who's healthy. How do you get used to that, right? It's weird. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make some more videos about how to address and recognize what reactive abuse is and all the little triggers. So you guys might see me dabble in and out of the videos over the next month or so about it. But yeah, like how do you break this cycle, right? How do you get out of it? And it's weird because you'll do these things out of, you know, fight or flight mode, and then you look back and you evaluate the situation with a clear mind away from the person, and you're like, fuck, I miss them. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. You operated from your survival mode, okay? And it sucks because how can this person has a tinge of like the gaslighting from you and the dishonesty and whatnot. Like how do you gain their trust, right? I feel like everyone comes into your life for a reason, a season, and a lesson, okay? Hopefully this person can feel better after, but the focus is you. And if you can make amends and apologize, do it. But the focus is you. This is something you need to address and not fix for other people. You were taught to be a fixer once you realized your mistakes. And that's where the cycle just keeps going. You keep trying to make up for it, and it looks manipulative, you know? Like I know I look manipulative when I realize what's going on, knowing full well that I'm scared I'm gonna do it again. Therapy, talking about it, reminiscing about it, it doesn't help. Recognizing pinpoints where you weren't so correct in all of your actions, right? It's really hard to do that. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know what's drawing me to talk about this, but right now, because I stopped allowing people to have an image about me, I spoke up about the source directly that ruined the event. I don't want to say source, it is a source, but the events that ruined my ability to live a normal life. I didn't know I was carrying this for a decade. I had no idea. I thought I was just toxic and manipulative. But before I met this person that instilled these energies and personalities in me, he's not aware he did that. He can't take accountability. He's so far deep down that his eyes go black when he's mad. I remember when he would get mad at me, it'd be black, and he would not stop hitting until he came back to life. Does that make sense? Like he left his body. And I was carrying someone doing this, like using me as an outlet for well over a decade. And I think it hurts him. It hurts our, like, I don't want to say abuser because I don't want to use that word anymore. It hurts the person who inflicted these reprogramming of DNA to hear this. They really think you're the problem. They truly cannot see that their actions were done wrong. You triggered them, you upset them, they defended themselves. But their abuses or whatever situations that caused them to grow these traits and habits, they can't face it. They have no memory of it. They think that because their life is calm, their money's good, they're well taken care of by their parents, they have a nice car, their image is slick, clean. Their friends love them. But they're leaving trails of mess all around them. There's very little people who can see the actual reality of the situations. And, you know, these people don't like drama, but they have a good sense of common... They have good common sense, and they, like, there's people who can see it, but they just stay silent and not their situation. How do we even defend ourselves and address this really painful wound that is ruining lives, right? The truth is, you just need to keep trucking and remove shame. And if sharing your story helps you, I encourage it. But just be prepared for the people who want to keep that bad image on you to try again. And it might work. There are going to be people out there who just don't like you and don't want to see you free from that image because they're not free from their image. They have images painted about themselves they can't escape it because it really is who they are. They can't believe that someone changed and worked on themselves. They don't know how it's possible because they feel like this is a lifelong sentence, right? Hopefully God can help them and free them rather than their fake worshiping and stuff, you know? You can't just post a Bible phrase and say you're healed and saved. You have to actually do the work. If we find we're still attacking people for talking about something that hurt them, what about that is our business, right? We need to break this image of talking about trauma being taboo. Stop making people feel embarrassed for being hurt. We gotta stop it. I used to feel embarrassed of my pain, and I used to really believe that it was solely just me. But it's not normal to abuse someone to that extent. It's not normal to continuously talk about the person you abused to that extent. Especially if there's more than one. Right? These people have to coerce an image. They have to paint their story, and they use it with words. But once, you know, someone starts telling the truth, they go harder, they go uglier. It gets worse. The only way to break free from that image that's continuously happening, this constant slander, is to tell your story. And if you want to do it in silence, these are some shadow work things I want to share with you. If you want to do it in silence, get out your camera, get out whatever you have. You don't have to show anyone this video, ever. Tell your story. Talk about it. If you break down and cry while you're telling the story, or if you're going so fast telling the stories that details just keep popping out, keep going. It might be an hour long, might be an hour and a half. Make sure you have the space. Go and delete any extra photos. Make sure you have enough gigabytes to not cut you off. Okay? And then go upload it to a private platform. Private. Okay? Because if you leave it on your phone and you're still in that situation, who knows who's going to get a hold of it. Go upload it to your private platform. Put it on OneDrive. Put it in your email. Something. Okay? So it never gets deleted. I want you to sit there and I want you to play it when you have a moment alone, and grab your notebook. Listen to your story. Feel the emotions, let your body shake. Take notes on the parts that you might not see the same as in the video. This is a visual shadow work exercise that I'm showing you guys. This is something that really helped me. For months before I posted my story, I talked about something that was more of an aftermath due to the manipulation of my first relationship. I talked about that relationship. But that relationship was the key to realizing there's deeper levels to this, and it's not just that one, because I healed from that one. I took therapy for my narcissistic relationship from a few years ago. But I never healed from my physically abusive relationship. I thought it's just bruises, you know, he still loved me. You can carry that in your body for a very long time. And when you talk about it, when you release it, it's different. I noticed my body just feels light all the time. My neck pain's gone. I can sleep at night. I can breathe. I'm not antsy. I can walk faster. My hips were hurting really bad. You know, it's really hard when you start to tell your story publicly. Don't do it with friends. Don't gossip about it, because they're just going to take it as gossip and you're going to be discredited as tainting an image just like them. If you need to write a poetry book about it, do it. Get a little notebook. Write down whatever words come to your mind. Start a new page with a little paragraph. Just be ready if you ever go public with your story. I'm going to say this because I feel like some people are getting this idea to share their story. Be ready for the person that you will be mentioning to come at you always. Mine took my son's phone away and went through it, and he knows some things that me and my son talked about privately. And now he's out there posting about it. Be ready for your abuser to text you and tell you you're embarrassing him. You're embarrassing. You're disgusting. You're always drama. You know, it wouldn't be drama if it didn't happen, right? That you would not feel a need to talk about it. There's something in your body telling you to talk about this. Don't let someone's shame in your story for their actions influence you to feel ashamed of talking about it. There is absolutely no shame. There's no shame. If they have a story too, go tell it. Let them slander you, but remove yourself from that situation. You know your truth. My ears are ringing so loud as I talk about this. Stop feeling shame. There's no reason to. Why do you feel shame for being hurt? Can you ask yourself this for a quick second? What is shameful about you being lied to, manipulated, slapped around? Why do you feel embarrassed? That doesn't sound right to me. I found my power in telling my story. I thought I had confidence and whatever else before, but I didn't know I was still hurting from this situation and ruining my relationships due to this situation. I had no idea. And this guy, I agreed that I was shitty, and this guy, he has people believing I'm really shitty. This happened when I was 15. I was already receptible to the abuse. You know, coming from a settlement that was secluded and uncivilized, basically, I thought this was normal. Stop feeling shame and start realizing that the reactive abuse is asking you to heal. It's not asking you to fight and defend. It's asking you to, hey, can we address this? It hurts. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be helpful to anyone, but give the video thing a try. Give the notebook thing a try. And remove yourself from the shame as you talk about this. You need to remove yourself from the shame of someone else feeling guilty about what they did to you. Because that's where it starts. You are literally carrying someone else's manipulation to keep a secret. And guess what? They're not doing anything to protect you. They're going around spreading this false narrative about you. They have people with the same mindset cheering them on and agreeing with them. And these people, they love to keep evidence against others, the target most likely. And it's like, you really were waiting for an opportunity. These people wait for opportunities. They're opportunists. Think about it. Any sane person, why would you want to collect a bunch of this stuff about someone and twist it? You're gonna get attacked as soon as you start sharing your story, or you decide to make a video or write a story about it. You're going to get attacked. Because these people have an image about you that they want to keep them safe. They want you to go back down in the bottom of the shit barrel so they can feel safe. They don't want to be held accountable. Remove yourself from the shame and the fear of talking about what happened to you. I see so many stories on YouTube about people talking about their abuse. But their abusers are in jail. Lucky them. Right? Mine still roams and dominates a reserve. People love him and believe him because they think he's a sweetheart. Half of my face will tell you otherwise. My eyes, they'll tell you otherwise. He doesn't deserve to live a life of misery, but I do think these people need to start seeking help in therapy instead of trying to protect something that they're carrying too. These people are carrying abuse as well. But how do we get them to see that? They're too embarrassed to admit someone did stuff to them when they were little. They're too embarrassed. because of who it is that did it. And a lot of times they don't remember. Yeah, it's pretty dark, I know. It's pretty dark. I don't know where this video is going. I don't know if this is going to help anyone, but this is how to remove shame from telling your story. This is how to start shadow work, especially if you're a visual person and you can't sit there and meditate and do it. Meditation doesn't always help. I just offer it because now it maintains where I'm at. Okay? Yeah. I guess that's all I really wanted to share with you guys. If you need more guidance, go follow me on Instagram and message me. If you have a question, message me. I'm here for it. Stop feeling ashamed of yourself.